If your school desk looks like a battlefield, you know the struggle of erosion. But what about rocks? Let's dive into the world of weathering. It's all thanks to a fascinating process called weathering, where nature transforms solid rock into soil, sediment, and landscapes we see every day. So join us on this journey to uncover the science behind how rocks undergo weathering. Get ready to see the world in a whole new way.
Education for 1,700 days.
Disclaimer: the content on this channel is meant only to provide helpful insights, tips, and information on certain subject or topic. While we strive to provide accurate and up-to-date knowledge, this is not a substitute for professional advice. Always consult a qualified expert or professional for your specific needs. We encourage you to use this content as a guide for learning and additional information. If you think this does not fit what you want, please skip the video.
How are the products of weathering carried away and deposited elsewhere? Step 1. Weathering, the breakdown of rocks. Weathering is the process that breaks down rocks into smaller pieces, which can include everything from tiny sand grains to larger pebbles. This happens due to factors like rain, wind, temperature changes, and even plant roots. For instance, rainwater can slowly dissolve minerals in rocks, breaking them down chemically. Temperature changes cause rocks to expand in the heat and contract in the cold, eventually cracking them. Over years, these forces turn solid rocks into loose, weathered material ready to be moved. Step 2. Erosion, the transport process. Once rocks are broken down, erosion steps in to move these particles. Erosion is powered by natural forces like water, wind, ice, and gravity. Water erosion at rivers and streams are especially powerful at moving weathered material. As water flows downhill, it picks up pieces of soil, sand, and rocks and carries them along. This transport is visible when rivers look muddy after heavy rain. That's sediment being carried away. Ocean waves also erode coastlines, moving sand and rocks along shores. Wind erosion. In dry areas like deserts, wind can pick up smaller particles like sand and dust. These particles are carried over long distances and can form dunes when the wind slows down and deposits them. Ice erosion. Glaciers or slow-moving rivers of ice can transport large rock fragments. As glaciers flow, they drag along rocks, grinding them into smaller particles. When the glacier eventually melts, it leaves these materials behind. Gravity. On slopes, gravity causes loose rocks and soil to move downward, especially after rain. This can be seen in landslides or rockfalls where gravity pulls material down a hill or mountain. Step 3. Deposition, where erosion drops its load. At some point, erosion slows down and loses the energy needed to carry particles. This is where deposition happens, dropping the weathered materials in new locations. River deposition. When a river slows down as it reaches flatter land or an ocean, it loses its power to carry heavier materials, so it starts dropping them. This creates riverbanks, sandbars, and even deltas, large, flat areas where rivers meet oceans or lakes. Wind deposition. When the wind stops blowing, it releases sand and dust, forming sand dunes in deserts and lowest deposits, which are fine dust in other areas. These deposits can build up over time, changing the landscape. Glacial deposition. When a glacier melts, it leaves behind the rocks and soil it was carrying, creating landforms like moraines, which are rocky ridges, and outwash plains, which are sandy areas. The bigger picture. Through weathering, erosion, and deposition, Earth's landscapes are constantly reshaped. Mountains wear down, valleys are carved out, beaches form, and deserts shift. This ongoing cycle can take thousands or even millions of years, showing how nature slowly but powerfully transforms the land around us.